Oh, it feels incredible. It's like waking up on Christmas morning every day, being able to run out on the field and tackle some people. It's been, I don't even know how many months, but it's been way too long. But the team's having fun.
Chris, can you talk a little about the style of defense and how it's changed now under the new coaching staff? Are there differences you can talk about?
It's pretty similar. There's not much really to say. I think besides game plan, we've changed. We've actually changed our mentality, I think. We've been playing echo to echo the whistle, so I think our attitude when we step on the field has improved a lot. So I think you're going to see a lot more people flying around, making plays than last season. A little more free football, run around, have some fun. I think that's the biggest difference from last year.
It sounds like you're saying maybe that the players' mental approach and the toughness had to be the biggest change. Is that true?
Yeah, I think there's a little more, I don't know the right word, maybe swagger. There's a little more swagger when we walk out on the field as a team. I think everyone's got a little more chemistry with each other, which helps. So that builds the confidence of the defense and the back seven. So I think everyone just trusts each other and doing their own 1/11th. So I think that's a good thing. Run around and have some fun without worrying about doing anything wrong.
Do you think not playing in the fall and with the new coaching staff has helped you guys more?
Yeah, I actually look at that as a positive. I mean, obviously I was upset that we didn't get to play it all in the fall, but in all reality, it kind of gave us a little bit of extra time to get to meet this staff and meet some of the new guys that come in a little more, work them into the game plan, understand philosophies from these different coaches because they've all come from different colleges. So I think it's been a really good thing, and I think we've had enough time to prepare to have a good season. So.
Played a lot of football, Griffin, but this is different from probably anything you've experienced. What's been the most odd or the most unique of getting ready to play football in spring when it counts in spring, I should say?
The most odd thing, I would say honestly in the fall it felt the most odd because we had our basically spring ball in the fall, so we were going through like our acclimatization for spring ball in the fall, and it felt like a camp during the school year. I think that was kind of weird. So I'm sure some of the young guys thought that was interesting, balancing class with football practice. But it's been fun. This process of waiting, I can't wait to play on Sunday. So.
What are some of the differences, Griffin, between Coach Phillips and Coach Pelini? What's some of the differences in their philosophies that you've seen, in each practice?
I think everyone knows that Coach Bo was more of like an old school football coach, and Coach Phillips has a more like teacher background. He's worked at the high school level, so he takes a more like like a teacher's approach as a coach. So he's more like as a guide. He's better support. He shows love. I'm not saying Coach Bo didn't show that, but I just feel like a lot of chemistry from him. He really wants to bring the team together, and he's putting a lot of trust in the OC, DC, and position coaches, but I think it's going to work out the way he's built this representation of the Youngstown grit and everything.
Griffin, and we played in the fall. You were to face Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a completely different quarterback than Zev Nolan. Have you seen much film of him, or what kind of quarterback is he?
I haven't personally watched that much film on him specifically. I've been watching more of just North Dakota State from last season. But a few of our coaches have coached around him at Iowa State, so they know that he's a good quarterback and he's going to tuck it away and run when he can. That's what I've heard at least, and he can sling it a little bit. So I wouldn't put it past him to be just as good. I know Trey Lance is a great quarterback, but he's still going to be a good athlete.
Griffin, what's it been like learning a different defense? How's that process gone?
I think it's a good thing. Once you get used to a defense, you kind of get complacent with it. So you might develop some bad habits, and learning a new defense kind of really puts you on your toes, and you kind of have to understand the philosophy before you can start getting comfortable and making plays in the defense. So I think adapting to this new coaching staff with their defenses that they run has been a really good thing, especially it makes the older guys equal to the younger guys when we're in fall camp. So everyone's competing for the same spot. It feels like fun, like competition every day. You're always learning something new, developing as a football player all around.
Coach Phillips, he pushes brotherhood so much in creating a team. Does this feel like a tighter group? Does this feel like a closer team today than it has maybe in years past?
Definitely, for sure. Last week we actually had a quiz day before practice, and he passed out packets, and on the packets were fill in the blanks for each player. You had to fill in their high school, their hometown, and one word they bring to the team because everyone shared a word with the team. So, and then he graded each position group on how many they got right. So he's been doing a great job trying to bring this team together as brothers. So it's really good.
Griffin, a lot of youth on this defense, only 3 seniors starting. Talk about that a little bit and how maybe you overcome some of that inexperience.
I don't know if it's a bad thing to have youth on the defensive side of the ball. I know our older guys like Z and Cook have a lot of games under their belt, and they've been really stepping up as leaders on this defense. I've been expected to step up just because I played a few games last season, but I think to overcome that adversity, you just have to have guys you trust really just put forth the effort to pick up the guys who haven't played any games and just bring them along with them. It's just a journey you got to ride together.
What is it about North Dakota State? You've played against them before. That makes them the team that they are. I think that they've won 8 of the last 9 national championships. Does anything sticks out when you played against them or watched them on film?
I think it's truly just as simple as they are good at what they do. They find what they're going to be successful at every game, and they work it until they perfect it. That's how they run. They're a well-oiled machine. They're a tough, physical football team. It's as simple as that, I think.
You've talked a lot about the chemistry and how it feels a little bit tighter of a group. Is it any more difficult to do that when you have a lot of new faces out there? I think there's like 25 guys on the team from 2019. Is it any more difficult because of that, or is it been just as easy?
I think it's been about the same. I wouldn't say it's been any harder. It's kind of weird sometimes because there's guys from everywhere, and some situations you got guys like Quincy, our other safety. He's already known Z his entire life. They lived in the same hometown growing up. So there's cases like that. One guy pulls their buddy along, here, come hang out with me. I'll introduce you to these guys, and then the chemistry just builds from there. It all just expands on and off the field.
Could you talk about some goals that you have for yourself this season?
My goal for myself, I obviously didn't start that many games. I played in a few games last year, but my goal for this conference is I'm shooting high, be all conference. That's a goal I've always wanted to be, and I want to lead the defense in tackles.